all, and welcome to part 2 of my Devil's Advocate on CGT status. If you could like, comment and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. By supporting me, I can help support other people. If you want to downvote it or enter into a debate, I'm more than happy for that as well. You know, it doesn't bother me either way. I'm more than happy to share my thoughts and opinions and my ideas and ideals to anyone, really. So today's episode is why CGT status doesn't really matter at all. Now, as we've already touched upon in the last video, you get 12k, which this goes up every year, by the way. Oh, it goes up most years. It's meant to keep in line with inflation. So what that means is, let's use the example of this again. So say you buy 1,000 coins at £15. You spent £15,000. For you to hit that, you need to hit 27 pounds a coin. Now, let's introduce something else into the mix. I'm not going to compare this with this. It's apples for apples. Obviously, if you can buy them for the same price, you're going to buy the Brits just for the added CGT status, even though I don't believe it is as important as my friend makes out. Now, say, for example, you have £15,000 to spend because it's nice on the numbers and we're already talking about it. Say you wanted to buy semi-Numi coins. Now, the reason I believe that the allowance doesn't matter is it's different from what you'd probably believe. For me, it's all about upside potential and downside risk. If I buy 15k in semi-Numi coins and I split them over, say, a roll each, okay, you're going to have 750 coins, by the way, at, say, £20. I think that's a realistic number. You know, it's going to be an average, but you're going to get coins that do very, very well, and you're going to have coins that don't perform so well. Now, these are just numbers, and they are they anecdotal? Yes, I guess they are. I've done this in the past myself, and I've made good money doing it, but it's more to provide food for thought for people who suggest that you should only buy CGT coins. And the reason being, with semi-Numi coins, you increase your upside risk. You increase your upside and you reduce downside risk. And you're thinking, well, why is that actually the case? And the reason being is, with CGT coins such as your Brits, because they're solely related to spot price, you don't have much control over it. You know, you can front load it, you can pound cost average it, but ultimately the spot price goes up and down. The semi-Numi market is dictated by collectors, and collectors will always chase after certain coins, and there'll be some coins that are flavour of the month and some coins that are slightly out of favour. But if you buy a mixed bunch of rolls and you sell them off on eBay or social media, peer-to-peer, you're going to have a mixed bunch of results, and the chances are you're going to have some losers, and I don't think you're going to lose a lot. I don't think you're going to get taken to the cleaners on the semi-Numi stuff unless you've vastly overpaid. But if you're buying straight from the dealer when it comes out, the price should be relatively competitive because all the dealers are trying to sell it. There is a fixed level for pricing that is put in place by the dealers to keep each other in check. Now, if you buy in the secondary market, you can lose money, but this is not the remit of this video. This is for someone buying straight from the dealer. If you do buy a mixed bag of rolls and you end up buying 750 at £20, which, like I said, is realistic, the chances are you're going to lose on some, you're going to make on some, and you're going to have some real winners. And I know this because I've had rolls in the past that have netted me £10 and up profit per coin after deductions. You know, in some cases, I think I had one roll, I made £20 a coin. It does happen occasionally. Although, did that happen due to me buying straight from a dealer? I can't remember off the top of my head. I might have bought that in the secondary market, but that's a story for another day. But the point is, you're going to have coins that you're going to have an average, and it's going to protect against your downside due to that average. It increases your upside due to the collectability of it. So let's say, for example, you did buy at 20 and you had a good year, you know, and you sold on average at 25. Now, that's a 25% increase. And even then, you're only going to net this. You're nowhere near it. You're nowhere near the 12k, which will be adjusted to inflation. But you've also reduced your downside because you're not solely reliant on spot price, which you would be if you were to buy purely Britannias. I guess the Royal Mint has accommodated, like they bought the Queen's Beasts out, which have done well. They're a semi-Numi coin. Some of them go for very good money. You know, I think the Griffin was going for £80, circa £80, you know. I think I sold that for around £40. It's possible to make good money on these coins. I think it was about £44 a coin capped, including delivery. And I do think they've gone, even for argument's sake, let's say it's going for £70. You know, that's a £25 increase per coin. That proves that this can work, you know. Even if you buy, I would stick with your stronger mints. For example, your perp mint, they tend to do well. You know, your elephants do okay. I'd stick to anything that changes each year from your stronger mints. Scottsdale Mint have been churning these out year on year. They wouldn't be at the top of my list, you know, but I'd buy them just in case, because I wouldn't be worried about losing on a couple, because I know I'd make on more than I lost. Now, if you got £15,000 worth of semi-Numi coins and you're nowhere near it, what's going to happen if you have £15,000 in bullion coins? Well, it goes up or down, but is it really going to go to £27? Over the long run, yes. But I don't want my investment to last me 20 years. If you're stacking for your children, then that's great. You know, it's a great way of hoarding wealth and passing it down for a generation. It really is. Gold's probably better, but I think silver has potentially more upside, personally. I do agree with that. But we're talking about CGT. We're talking about when the end game is and when you do decide to cash out. Now, one thing that goes against buying semi-Numi coins is that you've actually got to sell it yourself. Like, if it goes up and you want to sell 1,000 ounces to a dealer in bullion, easy, they're going to offer you spot minus something, you know, depending on the dealer. Some dealers might even offer you spot. If you do it on semi-Numi coins, you're going to lose all that premium. So you've got to wait for silver to go to what you paid, which may take a while. You know, if you're buying at 15 and it's got to go up 33% just to get to that. So that's a benefit of CGT coins, but I don't think that it's a fair representation to say that only buying CGT coins is the best solution, because for the vast majority of people, how many people on this channel have £15,000 in silver coins? Very few. Very few. If I think of my customers and who buys from me, I don't think there's many of them that would have 1,000 ounces or batches of semi-Numi coins. So this kind of makes it irrelevant. You need to be really wealthy to be anywhere near this. And if you're really wealthy, then you've got the added benefit. You'd have money in this, you'd have money in gold, you'd have an ISA, which is a tax wrapper. You know, why? And also, you'd probably have this because you can have an ISA, you can have the tax wrapper and wrap it around a dividend-paying portfolio. why would you have, say, 10,000 ounces? Like realistically, like let's think logically. Why would you have 10,000 ounces at £15? It's going to cost you 150,000 when you can have a dividend portfolio paying, let's say, 5%. It is achievable. You know, so you're talking £5,000, 7,500. You know, that's a monster box in itself. That's 500 coins over the space of a year. You know, by doing this, you can compound. By doing this, you're just sitting on it. You know, so if you're that wealthy, it doesn't even make sense to put into this. The only main reason I could think of for loading heavy on gold and silver is you feel there's going to be a financial collapse and you want to pick up cheap assets because these will go up in price. It's feasible, but you're not going to have that over the long. And if you are wealthy enough to do that, you would go for Brits just for many reasons. Firstly, you can just offload them to a dealer and get paid cash. You know, you're not going to be too worried about picking strategies for CGT. You're just going to buy Brits because it's coins in, coins out. This is going to take more work, you know, but to the average person who's buying coins for a month, maybe £100 here, £100 there, you know, this doesn't really matter in my mind, because it's just a red herring that they throw up because it sells coins, but it doesn't really matter. You know, they're my thoughts and views on it. I am going to put out a third video on who I think CGT matters to, just to give examples. It is a lot of talking. I hope people have watched and listened. If you want to comment, then feel free. You know, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. So take care, guys. Bye.